Hello there. This is OBN Horn of Africa English News Service. I'm Anwar Khalil with the news of the hour. Now 14 GMT here in Adama, Ethiopia. To the headlines. Minister hails Ethiopia's achievements. Party discloses it is a manifesto and electoral symbol. The news in brief, please do stay with us. President of the Federal Democratic Republic of Ethiopia, Taye Asqassalassy, says Ethiopia is recording measurable gains in expanding opportunities for young people and women. Addressing the African Business Forum 2026, the president underscored that through focused policy reforms and sustained investment in skills development, the nation is successfully transforming its demographic potential into a catalyst for shared prosperity. Speaking under the theme, quote, Financing Africa's Future, Jobs and Innovation for Sustainable Transformation, Taye reaffirmed Ethiopia's resolve to align national reforms with the aspirations of the African Union's Agenda 2033. He noted that employment generation remains the cornerstone of inclusive growth.
Ethiopia has undertaken a far-reaching policy measures to create employment for our youth. In the first half of our 10 years development roadmap, we have created employment for 14.1 million young people. Nearly 84% of these jobs were generated through youth-led entrepreneurships. If we take, for example, the Addis Ababa Corridor and Riverside Development Project, employed over 30,000 young people over the last 6 months. Over the last 2 years, it could be over 100,000 elsewhere in different cities in our regions.
The president also stated that agro-industrial parks are bridging the gap between smallholder farmers and domestic and export markets, thereby bolstering productivity and household incomes. Furthermore, Taye referenced Ethiopia's recently enacted startup proclamation designed to fortify the innovation ecosystem and position the country as a competitive global exporter.
Ethiopia recently issued the Startup Proclamation. Under Digital Ethiopia 2030, we adopted a national accelerator program providing seed funding, international exposure, and mentorship, such as the initiative that we have training 5 million coders. We need to harmonize national startup laws and macro, small and medium enterprise policies with the African Continental Free Trade Area. I call for the creation of Pan-African Innovation Corridor, where a startup or a macro, small and medium scale enterprise certified in Addis can access markets in Accra, Cairo, Lagos, or anywhere in our respective capitals without undergoing cumbersome validation and unnecessary bureaucratic hurdles.
Next, Deputy Prime Minister of Ethiopia, Temesgen Trune, affirms that Ethiopia is laying the foundation to take a leading role in the rapidly expanding field of artificial intelligence. The Deputy Premier made these remarks at the inauguration of a new National Technology Center designed to accelerate innovation and safeguard digital sovereignty. Ishetu Opsi explains it.
Speaking on the occasion, Deputy Prime Minister Temesgen Trune says that the center inaugurated is a way for Ethiopia to assert its digital sovereignty in the technology sectors and herald a bright future.
We gather for a declaration, the launch of the Artificial Intelligence Unipod, powered by the Timbuktu initiative, is not simply the opening of space. It is the opening of a new chapter, a chapter in which Ethiopia steps forward, not as a spectator in the age of the artificial intelligence, but as a builder, a contributor, a leader.
According to Temesgen, the center is a symbol of Ethiopia's transition to a new creative phase that sovereignty in the 21st century is not limited to borders.
In the 21st century, sovereignty is evolving. It is not defined only by borders. It is defined by who owns the data, who writes the algorithm, who controls the computing power. The Unipod marks Ethiopia's transition from consuming technology to creating it, from adapting global tools to designing our own, from participating in the digital economy to shaping its direction.
Director General of the Ethiopian Artificial Intelligence Institute, Werku Gachana, notes that Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed has achieved many successes under his vision and critical leadership for artificial intelligence. He says that the AI University Innovation Center, AI Unipod, which was officially launched, is part of the journey to make Ethiopia a hub of artificial intelligence in Africa.
What we are doing today is more than opening a facility. We are planted a seed. The AI Unipod is designed to grow Ethiopia into central hub for AI in Africa, empowering our youth startups to build solutions not just for our nation, but for the entire continent and beyond.
Addis Ababa University Acting President Samuel Kifle says that the Innovation Center integrated will serve as part of the university's academic and research system. He also indicated that the university will provide the academic foundation, research expertise, and human resources to make this Innovation Center knowledge-based and sustainable.
Addis Ababa University will continue to be committed to ensure that these applications are grounded in rigorous research, validated methodologies, and context-sensitive design. The AI Unipod will therefore function not as an isolated innovation space, but as an integrated extension of our academic and research system.
The United Nations Under-Secretary General and the UNDP Regional Director for Africa, Ahuna Izankova, said the official launch of the Innovation Hub is a testament to Africa's growing self-confidence. Ethiopia is a country that demonstrates its leadership capabilities every day, and noted that the country's government and institutions have played a crucial role in enabling us to achieve such strategic initiatives.
We're working with the government here in Ethiopia and governments across Africa to build thematic innovation hubs and university innovation pods that unlock Africa's talent and its potential.
Many Ethiopians have already started studying AI in 5 million Ethio-Coders initiative supported by United Arab Emirates. And moving on to other news items, Ethiopia's Minister of Water and Energy, Dr. Engineer Habtamu Itafa, says Ethiopia's achievements in water and sanitation sectors lay a great foundation for achieving the Continental Agenda 2063. Again, Ishetu Opsi has more on that.
In an exclusive interview with Ethiopian news agency, Minister of Water and Energy, Engineer Habtamu Itafa, noted that although Africa is blessed with water resources, it is still a continent with low access to drinking water and energy in the world. The minister said that the 39th African Union Summit focused on water and sanitation was crucial to meeting the continent's current and sustainable needs. Habtamu says that these guiding principles create a great impetus for member states to use their water resources for economic transformation and the well-being of their people. He underscores that Ethiopia's achievements in the water and sanitation sector lay a great foundation for the achievement of the Agenda 2063.
Africa is blessed with water resources with both surface and underground water. Nevertheless, Africa has low water supply, low energy supply, and low food sovereignty. The theme of the 39th African Union Summit is a great theme that other African countries will also do a lot as we have been doing. Ethiopia has both surface and underground water, which we haven't been using. It is a great success for us when the AU who raises water as an agenda. In recent years, Ethiopia has done a lot which can be exemplary for others.
The minister says that Ethiopia has made significant progress in the past years through the direct budget from the government and financial support from the World Bank. Among the achievements, it says that nearly 80 million people in the country have been able to benefit from clean drinking water.
Our energy supply source is hydropower. We have achieved success on this aspect. The grid is one of the manifestations. We are doing great on Koisha. The power generated by the grid, which is 5.1 gigawatts, doubled our power supply. We have also secured clean drinking water access to 80 million people.
Haptamu mentions that Finfine is a series that surprises the leaders of the union every year, adding that the water and sanitation works carried out in the city are especially visible on the ground. According to him, the results that Ethiopia is showing in practice beyond words can also provide great lessons and experiences for other African countries.
If we look at the three sectors, we did great on water and sanitation. With the World Bank support and direct budget from the government, we succeed a lot. If you look at Finfine City, it is clean and neat. African leaders are getting surprised with the change they have been looking at on Finfine City.
Sure, Finfine is becoming an amazing city, beautiful, stunning city, and worth watching, worth visiting, of course. Come and visit Ethiopia, the land of origins. Moving to other news items. Now our talk news package of the studio. The 10th regular session of the 6th Chafe, 5th working year, was held here in Adama town last Saturday and Sunday. It has also deliberated on different issues and passed resolutions. Our newsroom editor, Akilu Gabru, who is also a news anchor, is here in the studio with us to tell us more on that very meeting of the Chafe Oromia, the legislative body. Akilu, welcome.
Thank you for that.
Okay, what were dealt with then on that very meeting?
Yeah, as you've rightly said, the 10th ordinary session of Chafe Oromia was already held on the previous Saturday and Sunday. And let me say a little bit about some of the resolutions passed on this grand ceremony or this Chafe event. And on the first day, Speaker of Chafe Oromia, Saad Abdurrahman, delivered an opening speech on the event, and generally she mentioned some of the major works done in the last 6 reform years, especially focusing, for example, she mentioned that the government has enhanced the service delivery across the regional states, and she mentioned that the regional government has created a very strong government system at the lower level or at the very small unit of the government structure, the so-called at the Kabale or village level. That's what she mentioned. Then following that, President of the Oromia regional state, Shimallis Abdiisaa, presented the last 6 months performance report of the government. And following the reports, members of the Chafe have raised different questions, as also forwarded different remarks upon just focusing on the
executive body performance.
The executive body performance. And then just heads of different sectors were also there, and they have reacted to the questions raised by members of the Chafe. Then after, finally, President of the Oromia regional state, Shimallis Abdiisaa, generalized the questions, responded the questions, and put the next 6 months performance or future plan of the government, his government. To mention some of the points raised by President of the Oromia regional state, Shimallis Abdiisaa, he said that in the last, especially years, in the last couple of years, a good result was achieved in relation to the restoring peace and security across the regional state, and he appreciated the security personnel, the security apparatus, members of the Chafe, including the general public, for the results achieved in the security sector. Then following that, he mentioned that the government has aligned its work in relation to the 5 macroeconomic pillars of the nation, and he mentioned that in the agricultural sector, a astonishing results were achieved. He mentioned, for example, there are so many initiatives implemented across the regional state.
About 28 initiatives?
About 28. He even mentioned the rice, poultry, dairy, tea leaf initiative, and all those initiatives have enabled the farmers of the region and the pastoralists to enhance their livelihood and ensure sovereignty on their food. Self-sufficiency, that's what he mentioned, Anwar. And for example, in the mining sector, the regional government has been using the mining sector to exploiting the mining sector to wisely utilize for the overall economic development of the region, as well as also the nation, the manufacturing sector. And the region has also highly embarked on the ICT. Even he mentioned that Shagar Institute of Technology was established there at Shagar, which enables the future generation to become what? Technologically advanced.
Working with the NASA guy, Professor Brano Bulcha.
Exactly. And over the last 6 months, more than 1.1 million citizens also got permanent job opportunities. And all these things have been done in relation to the economic empowerment of the region, the president mentioned. And in relation to revenue as well as also budget, exponential result was achieved, the president said, and then this budget and revenue was also has been used appropriately, wisely used. And in relation to the entrepreneurship, in order to develop the mentality of entrepreneurship, major works have been done. Even the kind of course in relation to this entrepreneurship has been started to be given at the lower level annual. And when I come to the achievements registered in the education sector, for example, in order to expand the access of education across the regional states, like providing what we call school feeding program has been highly expanded throughout the region. And for example, pre-primary, primary as well as Ifaboru and the secondary or tertiary education has highly expanded throughout the region. And kids, as I've already mentioned, kids entrepreneurship courses have also started to be given at different levels of the schools. He mentioned, and questions raised to road, telecom, health and education have been also addressed. And this has been expanded in relation to the economic return of the area. That's how the president answered the questions. And following that, one resolving the so-called free legal service draft proclamation was approved. This also helps in order to just improve what we call justice system across the regional state. And one guy, the so-called, his name is the immunity was revoked from the one Jaffe member. The Jaffe was concluded in that way.
Wow. Thank you so much indeed for that very summary. Dear viewers, we proceed to the next news items. Prosperity Party, the ruling party, Prosperity Party Executive Committee member and Mayor of Infinite City Administration, Adani Chabebe, says the party has diligently fulfilled the promises it made to the people in the 6th national elections, and even if it wins the 7th national election, it will work to realize Ethiopia's prosperity through active public participation. The party has unveiled its election manifesto and electoral symbol in Infinite City Administration level. Daniel Chala has more.
Speaking on the event, Mayor of Infinite City Administration and a member of the party's executive committee, Adani Chabebe, said election is a fundamental issue for the building of a democratic system. She stated that Ethiopia has indigenous knowledge about democratic transfer of power, but for the past several years, the situation of holding power by force and war has spread and left us behind in the war. However, she said, since the past couple of years, the people of the nation are showing serious measures in deciding the government of the nation through election. Ethiopians has been participating in the general election so far, but the 2013 Ethiopian calendar general election was unique for the fact that Infinite City Administration residents participated in commitment and determination to elect a government. We have been undertaking the responsibilities given to us by the people in the 6 general elections, she said. She further stated that if the Prosperity Party wins the 7th national election, it will work to make Ethiopia's prosperity a reality in a way that involves the people, just as it diligently fulfilled its promise to the people in the 6th national election.
በዚህ ዓመት በ2018 በሰባተኛው ዙር ምርጫ
If the people entrusted us the responsibility of leading the nation in the 7th national election, we will strengthen the development journey we have begun and work to satisfy the demands of the people. Prosperity Party election symbol for the 7th national election with chief showcases the unity of the people and the grand achievement of the government. Encouraging work is being done to repair the brokenness of our country and ensure its universal prosperity. Ethiopia is built by the cooperation of the citizens. So I call on the residents of the city administration to work towards to the benefits of the nation, she said.
The electoral symbol of Prosperity Party is shape of wheat, as productivity in that sector has been well recognized. I think so. And to other talk news package of the studio here, the 2026 edition of the African Union Summit concluded with deliberations on water and sanitation management, peace and security, global financial structure, climate action, and AU multilateralism engagement. Our senior reporter and news anchor, Adis Asafa, who attended this very event from the eve to the conclusion moment, is here in the studio to tell us more. Adis Asafa, welcome.
Thank you, Anwar.
How was that session? Because I was watching it, but for our audience, how would you address them? The very central theme of that meeting.
Well, Anwar, thank you once again. The 39th edition of the African Union, held from 14 to 15 of February 2026 at the UN, at the Union's headquarters in Ethiopia, Finfinne. The theme of the assembly was assuring water availability and safe sanitation, and African Union's leader at the 39th summit in Finfinne reaffirmed zero tolerance for unconstitutional changes of government. And then another agenda was silencing the guns, Anwar, during 2020, the theme of the Union was silencing the guns, still is ongoing. Another discussion point was advancing institutional reform as Africa's representation at the UN Security Council and execution of African Continental Free Trade Area and the Agenda 2063 of the African Union were major discussion points, Anwar. The opening ceremony featured by the statement of His Excellency Mohammed Ali Yusuf, Chairperson of the African Union Commission, His Excellency Dr. Abiy Ahmed, Prime Minister of Ethiopia, again Antonio Guterres, Secretary General of the United Nations, again Her Excellency Giorgia Meloni, President of the Council
Prime Minister of Italy.
Yes, we can say Prime Minister and President of the Council of Italian Ministers of Italy. Yeah.
Exactly.
The Assembly welcomed President Evariste Ndayishimiye as Chairperson of the African Union for 2026 edition. And the outgoing Chairperson of the African Union is President of Angola. Joel Lorenzo. So during the session, Muhammad Ali Yusuf said, in quotation, Anwar, our summit is taking place in geopolitical context of crisis both on a continent and throughout the world, silencing the guns, as you have said in the lead story, on our continent remains a challenge, close quote. He also mentioned about political and institutional fragility in the continent and constitutional changes of government, multilateralism. He mentioned this multilateralism needs a promotion because nowadays it's more of severely tested because it's unipolar orientation. It has unipolar orientation. There is a rise of unilateralism.
So multilateralism.
Yes.
Okay.
So Muhammad Ali recommended Africa must strengthen itself by accelerating its political and economic integration programs, Anwar. Agenda 2063 and its flagship programs must guide us toward the Africa we want, according to Muhammad Ali. He recommended his concern for those who are suffering in Sudan, mostly in the Sahel region and eastern DRC and Somalia. Another keynote speaker on a podium was Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed of Ethiopia. Obviously, he emphasized on a theme of the year, which is water availability and sanitation. According to Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed, he said water is more than a resource and it's more than a mere definition. He said water is energy in the context of Ethiopia by raising the Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam. According to the Prime Minister, this GERD connotes energy. It's
diplomacy.
Indeed, yes. It's also diplomacy. It harnesses regional and continental integration. Ethiopia is selling electricity energy to neighboring countries, so water is energy and has got multiple purpose, Anwar. And he also mentioned the water management approach employed by the Ethiopian government. He mentioned the riverside projects that reshaped the look of Addis, as you've mentioned.
Not only the capital, also many other cities.
Exactly, not only the main city, the diplomatic capital. It goes throughout different parts of Ethiopia. Almost all regional towns are entertaining this corridor development and riverside projects. He mentioned the irrigation work is done mainly in wheat production and other products in the country. So it's a manifestation and a testament for theme of the year, which is water availability, sanitation, and water management. According to the Prime Minister, this riverside project is enhanced family and social cohesion, Anwar. He mentioned about this urban and human settlement. Obviously, both African Union Agenda 2063 and the UN Sustainable Development Goal promote urbanization and human settlement, Anwar. Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed in that big summit also mentioned the market connectivity that Ethiopian Airlines and Ethio Telecom promotes. For example, Ethiopia has launched and a cornerstone was laid to build this continental international airport, which is the Bishoftu International Airport. And ever existed Ethiopian Airlines promotes market connectivity, enhance African continental free trade area. Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed also mentioned the UN's goal and the Agenda 2063 goal in connection with climate resilience, Anwar. He mentioned the Green Legacy initiatives and the 48 billion tree seedlings that has been planted by Ethiopian people exactly for the past 7 consecutive years, Anwar. He mentioned again about Ethiopia's commitment in this climate actions, even hosted the 2nd African Climate Summit before a couple of months. That is another milestone. It's a commitment shown by the Ethiopian government. Ethiopia is about to host COP32 by 2027. Exactly. It's another big blast again. He appreciated these all things and this effort appreciated by the African Union. African Union Chairperson Muhammad Ali Yusuf also appreciated Ethiopia's commitment in areas of green resilience, Anwar. If we are not again at the clock, I'll proceed quickly, Anwar.
All right, a little bit. The director is telling us
okay.
Out of time.
I'll wrap it up soon, shortly, brother. Okay. Another thing that Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed mentioned during the summit is digitalization. Obviously, Ethiopia has launched Ethiopian Artificial Intelligence Institute. Then he mentioned about a Digital Ethiopia 2025 and 2030. In connection with this, he mentioned the service delivery, electronic payment, one-stop service, national ID, MESOB, and Ethiopia is about to launch AI University soon. It's again under the aspiration of the Maddamer philosophy. He mentioned about a media that is promoting Africa's narrative, the pulse of Africa,
Sure.
Anwar. He sent the farewell remark to the outgoing chairperson of African UN, Gio Lorenzo,
Lorenzo of
Angola's
Angola.
president, and welcomed the new chair, Evariste Ninda
From
Shimiye.
Burundi.
Yes. The other personality was Antonio Guterres, appreciated AU's multilateral partnership. Similarly, he focused on silencing the gun and reaffirmed UN's commitment to help this silencing the gun mission. Again, he appreciated the climate action that Africa is promoting, precisely Ethiopia's commitment. He mentioned about global financial restructuring, Africa's representation at the UN Security Council. And he remarked his concern in Sudan, South Sudan, Eastern DRC, Central Africa, Libya, and Somalia. We are running out of time.
Yeah.
I appreciate your host. Thank you, Anwar.
But I appreciate your presentation. You summarized the thing that was talked about in 2 days. Thanks so much indeed for that, Disa Safa.
Thank
Dear
you.
viewers, thank you for watching. This is OBN Voice for the People. Bye-bye.